Dashidalik, everybody, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Morning. Got the jig me hunt the chat, like for a chamo. Good, good. Hi, Alexander. Hi, Chabela, Vinicius, Lindsay, Brandon La, and Dashidalik, Violet, Jason Browning, and Rachel.
Good morning, Rinpoche. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, so let's begin. One, page 101. Longchen, one. Okay, page 101. So visualize Guru Rinpoche along with the vast retinue of Dakas and Dakinis rising up in the sky with the music of tamarus and bells and other instruments. You wake up with this inspiring song, disturbing the slumber of ignorance. Ke mai ke hu kalden dreke boy mare te mo wange manem par Chinru ngarke dantara yang long dan tome dine dala tuke bar Mare wange nelyuen de choenge dane manyal gosum gelaibe Kegai nachi dungai mishe samdere zamya tape gokame Drumlai tsinru kepe dirlai bandari chiko tende drundin Nyomle nganlai debe dimayin chiwai somla drupa taruke Tselai lome chiken same chai de tse me tsere tengje matona. Kiboy kini simbe cheje ron che nai da me tongjen che danj. Jumai mikju melam zunen dan che ze don kare da cha taburuj. Chundai chumburo miyuro chumbai son shejai jume pechu tejendo. Kode chenai keke shembarai ge chenai ranje kewa me pat. Neme game doe me pao me me tsema me chen somje. Dende tombara jawe de la ba. Namo Guru Be, Namo Dewa Be, Namo Dhaki Be. Oh, alas, alas, fortunate child of Buddha nature, do not be oppressed by the forces of ignorance and delusion, but rise up now with resolve and courage. Entranced by ignorance from beginningless time until now, you have had more than enough time to sleep. So do not slumber any longer, but strive after virtue with body, speech, and mind. Are you oblivious to the sufferings of birth, old age, sickness, and death? There is no guarantee that you will survive even past this very day. The time has come for you to develop perseverance in your practice, for at this singular opportunity, you could attain the everlasting bliss of Buddhahood. So now is certainly not the time to sit idly, but starting with the reflection on death, you should bring your practice to completion. The moments of our life are not expendable, and the possible circumstances of death are beyond imagination. If you do not achieve an undaunted confident security now, what point is there in your being alive, O fortunate being? All phenomena are selfless, empty, and free from conceptual elaboration. In their dynamic, they resemble an illusion, mirage, dream, or reflected image. A Gandharva city, an echo, a reflection of the moon in water. A bubble, an optical illusion, or an intangible emanation. You should know that all things of cyclic existence and nirvana accord in nature with these 10 similes of illusory phenomena. All phenomena are naturally unborn. They neither abide nor cease, neither come nor go. They are without objective referent or characteristics, ineffable and free from thought. The time has come for this truth to be realized. Homage to the Llama, homage to the Yidam, homage to the Dakini. Namo Guru Be, Namo Deva Be, Namo Daki. Now, the 9-round breathing. Okay, everybody together so that I can check your hand position. Okay, stretch your arms, your elbows. First, press your right nostril with your right. Breathe in. Now close your left nostril and breathe out through your right. Change hands. Okay, change hands. Breathe in. Okay, with your left hand. Breathe in. Your right hand. Keep your arms straight. Okay, your left. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, with both your nostrils. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. This time, breathe in and try to keep it a little bit longer. And breathe out. And breathe out again. Again, breathe out. Okay. Rub your thighs out like that. Back of your wrist. Okay. Then cover your knees. Then go to page 3 to bless the speech. 3. Om Ahum. Fire rising from rum syllable consumes my tongue, transforming it into a three-pronged vajra of red light. In its center are the vowels and consonants surrounded by the mantra, their sense of interdependent origination. From these syllables, like a string of pearls, light rays stream out, making offerings to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, pleasing them. As these rays return, all obscurations of my speech are purified, and I receive all the blessings and siddhis of Vajra speech. A a I u u re re le le e I o a wa nga ha ka 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 nga cha 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 na ta ta da da. Pa 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 ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha sha om he dharma he tu prabhava he tu de shantata gato haya va data te shanchayo nir. Mahashramana swaha a I u re re le le e I o au anga ha ka 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 nga cha 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 na ta ta da da na ta ta. Pa 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 ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha cha om ye dharma he tu prabhava he tu de shantata gato haya. Te shanchayo nirhoda ye bambadi mahashamana soha a I u re re le le e I o au anga ha ka 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 ka. Cha cha nya ta tha dha da na ta tha dha da na pa 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 ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha cha om ye dharma he tu prabhava he tu te shantata gato haya vata. Te shanchayo nirhoda ye bambadi mahashamana swaha a I u re re le le e I o au anga ha. Ka 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 ga nga cha 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 na ta tha dha da na ta tha dha da na pa 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 ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha cha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetu te shantata gato haya vadata te shanchayo niroda evam vade mahashramana swaha. A I u re re le le e I o au anga ha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha 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 na ta tha dha da na ta tha dha da na pa 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 ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha cha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetu te shantata gato haya vadata te shanchayo nirod. Evam vadi mahashamana swaha I u re re le le e I o au anga ha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha 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 na ta tha dha da na ta tha dha da na pa 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 pa. Yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetu te shantata gato haya vadata te shanchayo nirhoda evam vadi mahashramana soha I u re re le le e I o awangaha ka ka ga ga nga cha 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 na ta tha dha da na ta tha dha da na pa 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 ma yara lava shasa saha cha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetu te shantata gato haya vadata te shanchayo niroda evam vadi mahashamana so. And then the green border insert, the last page. Om Sambhara Sambhara Sindhi Bhimanya. Om Sambhara Sambhara Bhimana Sara Maha Zambahu. 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 Om Sambhara Sambhara Bhimana Sara Mahazambahu Om Sambara Sambara Vimana 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 Sara Mahazambahu. Back to page 13. Longchen, Longchen. Nyingthig gesar she pani chanche dunche lama yara lajing. Le dainen mo da bezer wai ke wai ngem pa da la jo pe chen. Chivarande chen korle jen dojo jenda she jen kunchan jen so sen. O Llama, please think of me. O Llama, please think of me. O Llama, please think of me. From the blossoming lotus of devotion at the center of my heart, arise, O kind Lama, my only refuge, in order to protect me, the miserable unfortunate one, who is overwhelmingly tormented by karma and mental affliction. I pray that you remain as the jewel ornament on the crown chakra of great bliss, arousing all of my mindfulness and awareness. Go to page 5. Page 5. Through your kindness, great bliss itself instantly arises as the precious jewel-like body of the Llama. I bow at the lotus feet of the Vajra holder. The Lama is the Buddha, the Lama is the Dharma. Likewise, the Lama is the Sangha. The Lama is the one who bestows all. I bow to the Lama's body, speech, and mind, that which all the guides have completely abandoned, the abyss of the miserable realms. I was bound toward it. To the one who has perfectly handed me the path of liberation, the greatest of guides, I bow down. I did not know what was right or what was wrong. I wandered on to wrong paths and grasped onto ego, the greatest ignorance. I praise the lamp that illuminates my mistaken belief in myself. Seeing your body brings illumination. Even the degenerated ones sleeping in peace will purify the inexpiable actions, as the sutra has said. I bow to the one in whom any connection is meaningful. By hearing your speech, what should be accepted or rejected is understood. One is protected from the abyss of great misdeeds. This itself is the essence of the truth of cessation and the path to cessation. I render praise to the melody of the great liberation of hearing. However, I have tried, I have not been freed. Yet a glance of your wisdom mind ripens me immediately. And when there is devotion, realization dawns. I bow to the inconceivable, that which is beyond conceptual elaboration. Through practicing austerities for three countless eons, even by torturing one's mind through tormenting hardship, Vajrasattva is difficult to attain. I bow to the teacher who has actually and unmistakably taught this. Lama, precious Buddha, I have no other hope than you. Please gaze upon me with your eyes of great compassion and liberate me from the ocean of samsara. May all excellence of this life be accomplished without any hindrances as obstacle. And at the time of death, may I recognize the profound clear light. May I be liberated from the precipitous path of the Paddo. May all undertakings of body, speech, and mind always be of benefit to others. And from now on, may all adverse conditions be transformed into the supreme path of Buddhahood. Even with all effort, it is difficult to free myself. Through the sheep of your great compassion, O Protector, may I and all sentient beings who are without protection arrive in the land of liberation. May everyone, whether they respect me, condemn, or denigrate me, exhaust their negativities and mental afflictions and renounce the stream of samsaric existence. Then later, even by the mere mention of my name, may all wishes of sentient beings be completely fulfilled. And in all pure realms which abound in the ten direction, may clouds of offerings rain down. By this virtue, may all beings be perfectly liberated from all realms of samsaric existence. Attaining the two sublime wisdoms, may the two benefits be spontaneously accomplished. Page 14. Zom zonge tam jige ngo kuje dan palden lama damba la sewa de so dala wanguro jenge laptos sablam ge toba ke bara chenju lai ke wara jenge laptos kada nilo ke tawa to bara jenge laptos Tondo nanje yeshe tarchen bara jenge laptos. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama, the essence of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama, the essence of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. Okay. Once again, check your motivation while you're practicing this. So then any kind of negative motivation or wrong motivation we need to abandon. And any kind of idle motivation, we should not live it like that. Rather, we need to change it to the supreme motivation of the Bodhisattvas. That is to think that I want to bring all sentient beings free from the suffering, aimed through my great compassion. And then I want to establish all motherly sentient beings to the state of perfect and complete precious Buddhahood. In order to do so, I will engage in the preliminary practice of the heart essence of the vast expanse, and then train myself in the 100-day mind training. Page 17. Now I am free from the hell, preta, or animal realms, long-living gods, born in barbaric land, or being a wrong view holder, born in a period when Buddha has not appeared, or being mentally dumb. I've obtained freedom from these eight unfree states, born a human being with all my senses intact, and in the center land, with a lifestyle not harmful or wrong, and with faith in the Buddha's teachings. These five personal endowments are complete. A Buddha has appeared, has taught the Dharma, it is existing, I follow it, and the sublime teacher has accepted me. I have thus the five circumstantial endowments. Although I am in a position where I have every one of them, once this life so fraught with uncertainty is relinquished, I will go on to yet another realm of existence. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Llama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. If I do not use the opportunity this present freedom offers, I will not find such a basis for attaining liberation later on. Once the merit that provided this happy existence is exhausted, I will wander after death as an unfortunate being in the miserable realms. Not knowing virtue from non-virtue, I will never hear a word of Dharma, nor meet a spiritual teacher, a terrible disaster. If we reflect on the numbers and kinds of sentient beings, we understand just how slim is the chance of gaining a human body. When we see even human beings devoid of dharma engaging in negativity, we realize those who act according to dharma are just like the daytime star. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Even though it is like reaching a jewel island, attaining this human body, a fickle and impetuous mind in such a promising basis makes it an unsuitable support for attaining liberation, especially when possessed by negative influences or with the five poisons raging inside, or when negative karma befalls me or I am distracted by laziness, or when a slave under someone else's control, or turning to dharma simply out of insecurity or fear, or merely pretending to practice, or when deluded and stupid. These are the eight intrusive circumstances that make dharma impossible. When these come upon me, opposing my Dharma practice, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Lacking both revulsion and the jewel of devotion, caught in the bond of desire and cravings, or with crude degenerate behavior, never holding back from negative, harmful actions and engaging in the five inexpiable acts, with vows completely broken and samaya torn to shreds. These are the eight propensities where mind is cut off from the Dharma. When these come upon me opposing my Dharma practice, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying into wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. At this moment I am not inflicted by sickness or pain, nor am I a slave or such under another's control. So now, when I have this perfect auspicious quality of total independence, if I waste the freedom of this human life through my own indolence, not to mention parting from my companions, possessions, relatives, and loved ones, even this body that I hold so dear will be carried out alone from its bed to some desolate spot, to be torn to pieces by foxes, vultures, and dogs. Then in the bardo there will be even greater terror. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. The results of virtuous and non-virtuous actions will follow accordingly, especially if I am born in the hell realms. On a ground of burning iron, my head and body will be hacked with weapons. I will be ripped apart with saws and crushed with red-hot hammers. Trapped in a doorless iron cell, screaming out loud, I will be impaled on red-hot spikes, boiled in molten lava, and burned in a fire of intense heat in these eight classifications of the hot hells. On the crests of snow mountains, on precipices of ice, terrifying places engulfed with squalls and blizzards of snow, my tender body, lashed by freezing winds, will break out in blisters, bursting open into festering sores. In a ceaseless wail of agonized screams and suffering difficult to even think about, like a sick person at death whose strength is completely gone, I'll let out deep gasps and groans, my teeth clench, my skin cracking open, and my exposed raw flesh will split deeper and will split yet again in this eight classification of the cold hells. Similarly, my feet will be sliced into ribbon on the plane of razors. In the forest of swords, my body will be gashed and chopped. I will sink in the swamp of putrefying corpses and the pit of hot embers, tormenting in the changing hell, in the neighboring hell, the hell neighboring the ultimate change. Born indoors, pillars, fireplaces, ropes, and the like, always made use of and exploited in the ephemeral hells. When thoughts of intense hatred and aggression arise, which are the causes of being born in any of the 18 hells, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Likewise, in a grim and destitute realm, where the words food, drink, or comfort have never been heard, the pretas find nothing to eat or drink for months and years on end. Their bodies are emaciated and they lack even the strength to stand. They suffer from the three kinds of obscurations. The reason for being born in such a birth is greed, in constant dread of being killed and eaten by one another, exploited and worked until exhaustion, bewildered as to what to do or not to do. Animals are oppressed by limitless suffering, the seed of which is stubborn stupidity. When I wander into this darkness, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Though I have entered the path of Dharma, I haven't put a stop to my mistaken behavior. Though I have entered the door of the Mahayana, I am devoid of any benefiting thoughts for others. Though I have received the four empowerments, I do not practice the generation and completion stages of meditation. O Lama, free me from straying from the path. Though I have not realized the view, I act as if I were crazed. Though distracted in my meditation, I boast about my understanding. Though my actions are at fault, I do not reflect upon my mistakes. O Lama, free me from becoming such a jaded practitioner. Though I may die tomorrow, I am full of craving for home, clothes, and possessions. Though my youth has passed, I lack revulsion and renunciation. Though I've heard only a few Dharma teachings, I arrogantly presume that I have qualities. O Lama, free me from such ignorance. Though headed toward disaster, I am preoccupied in distraction roaming the world. Though I stay in solitary retreats, my basic character remains as hard as wood. Though I speak of morality, I have not abandoned my attachment and aversion. O Lama, free me from the eight worldly concerns. Quickly rouse me from this deep sleep of ignorance. Quickly free me from this dungeon. Visualize the refuge field in front of you in the sky. Then all motherly sentient beings along with us, we take refuge in the Llama, Ida Mandakini, Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, the channel essence, channel energy and essence, in the essence, nature, and great compassion. That. Kunjo sumgen deshe tsawan sum tsalun tingle ranjen janchu sem. Ngobo ranjen tuje kyun korola. Janchu ningpo pandu jansun che. Kunjo sumgen deshe tsawan sum tsalun tingle ranjen janchu sem. Ngobo ranjen tuje kyun korola. Janchu ningpo pandu jansun che. Kunjo sumye deshe tsawan sum. Tsalun tigle ranjen janchu sem. Ngobo ranjen tuje kyun korola. Janchu ningpo pandu jansun che. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. Then generate bodhicitta. When you take refuge, you should feel that you have refuge has happened. That means you have when the refuge happens, then you actually step inside the path of the Buddha, or Buddhahood, or the Buddha path. So think like that. That the authentic or the absolute refuge, meaning not into absolute refuge is actually understanding Buddha and one's essence inseparable. What I'm saying here is the Sentient is called the, the refuge that in characteristics has all the elements perfect. That is when you have renunciation, when you have the fear of samsara, and when you go seek refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, that is the like absolute kind of refuge like that. So think like that, and then feel that refuge has happened in your mind stream like that. Then, not just for ourselves to attain Buddhahood, or we want to bring all motherly sentient beings to the state of perfect and complete Buddhahood. So think like that and cultivate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Ho na zo na wa chun de zin re ke korwa lu gu ju du cham pe do rang re ye se yin so ngel se che se me je ye nga ne sem ke do ho na zo na wa chun de zin re ke korwa lu gu ju du cham pe do rang re ve se yin so ngel se che se me je yen ane sem ke do o na tso na wa chu de zin re ke korwa lo go jo do cham pe do rang re ve se yin so ngel se che se me je yen ane sem ke do. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water, being grasping it as real wonder continuously in samsara, to bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness. I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water, beings grasping it as real wonder continuously in samsara, to bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness. I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water, beings grasping it as real wonder continuously in samsara, to bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness. I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurable. Then do Tonglen here, giving and taking. And then finally, all sentient beings dissolve into the refuge field. The refuge field dissolves into Guru Rinpoche. Guru Rinpoche dissolves into basic space. And then you rest in that basic space for a while. Hard to see the cursor. The cursor is okay. Then now you visualize Hung Sit syllable on a lotus and Mundus sit. And then, like magic, the Hung Sit syllable instantaneously transforms into Llama Vajrasattva. That's your Llama appearing in the form of Vajrasattva. Ah, in my ordinary form, above the crown of my head, on a white lotus in the center of a mundus seat, is the syllable Hung, which becomes the Lama Vajrasattva. Brilliantly white with complete Sambhoga Kaya adornments. Holding Vajra and bell, he embraces his consort Dorje Nema. I take refuge in you and pray that you purify all of my negativities. With deepest regret, I acknowledge and confess them. This translation here sounds a little bit kind of awkward to me because, we're trying to speak of Vajrasattva in terms of third person, then suddenly we're changing into like second person here, like you. We're first saying he and all of a sudden, I think we need to change this language because we're using in different, like we're saying in the third person and then suddenly we're changing into second person here. Anyway, I take refuge in you and pray that you purify all my negativities. With deepest regret, I acknowledge and confess them. From now on, even if my life is at stake, I shall vow to refrain from repeating them again. In your heart, upon a full moon, is the syllable Hung encircled by the mantra. Reciting the mantra invokes your wisdom mind, and from the point of union of Yab and Yum's blissful play, clouds of bodhicitta nectar flow down like drops of camphor. By means of these, for me and all sentient beings of the three realms, may our negative karma and destructive emotions, the causes of suffering, illnesses, harmful influences, negativities, and obscurations, along with falls, downfalls, and defilements due to breakage of samaya, be purified completely until not a single one remains. Om Bajra Sattva Samaya Manu Palaya Bajra Sattva Tenu Patishta Drido Mebawa Sunto Kayo Mebawa Suposho Mebawa Anu Rakto Sarva Karma Sudza Menza Dam Shiryam Kuru Hung Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajra Mame Manza Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sato A Om Vajra Sato Samaya Manu Palaya Vajra Sato Tishta Dirdo Me Bhava Sudo Kaya Me Bhava Subho Kaya Me Bhava No Rato Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayasa Sarva Karma Sudza Menza Dam Shiryam Kuru Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Benzer Mame Munza Benzer Bhava Maha Samaya Santo Om Bhajra Santo Samaya Manu Palaya Ishtandir Me Bhava Sunto Kaya Me Bhava Subho Kaya Me Bhava Anurato Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayasa Sarva Karma Sutsa Me Chitam Shrim Guru Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarvadanta Gata Bhajar Mame Munjam Bhajre Bhava Maha Samaya Sato Ahom. Page 47. O protector, in my ignorance and delusion, I have gone against and impaired my samayas. Llama protector, be my refuge, chief of all mandalas, Vajra holder, embodiment of great compassion, chief of all beings, in you I take refuge. I confess all broken root and branch samayas, body, speech, mind. I pray that you cleanse and purify all my accumulated negativities, obscurations, falls, downfalls, and defilements. Vajra Sattva is pleased and smilingly says, Noble child, all of your negative actions, obscurations, falls, and downfalls are purified. Granting his approval, he melts into light, and by dissolving into me, I become Vajrasattva, appearing yet empty, like a reflection in a mirror. At my heart is the syllable Hung, around which the four brilliantly radiant syllables emanate rays of light, whereby the three worlds, the whole universe, and the beings within it attain Buddhahood together as the Buddha feels and the Buddhas of the five families of Vajrasattva. Om Vajrasattva Hum Om Vajrasattva Hum Vajrasattva. Om Vajrasattva 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 Vajrasattva. Benza Sandom Benza Sandom Benza Sandom Benza Sandom Benza Sandom Benza Sandom Benza Benza Sandom 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 Benza Benza Sandom 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 Benza Benza Sandom 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 Benza Om Benza Sodom Benza Sodom Benza Sodom Benza Sodom Benza Sodom Benza Om Benza Sodom 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 Benza Om Benza Sodom 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 Benza Benzo Sodom 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 Benzo Benzo Sodom Benzo Sodom Benzo Sodom Benzo Sodom Benzo Sodom Benzo Sodom Benzo Benzo Sodom 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 Benzo Sodom. And finally, Vajra Sattva dissolves into Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Then Hum dissolves into basic space tracelessly, and then you remain in that state for a while. Mandala offering, page 53. Om Ahum. The billion pure realms of the 3,000-fold world system, filled with the seven precious gems and the wealth of gods and humans. Together with my body and possession, I offer them totally. May I attain the dominion of the universal ruler of Dharma. The Akanishta pure realm densely arrayed with great bliss. The mandala of the five certainties of the five Buddha families, along with inconceivable vast clouds of offerings of every variety of sensual pleasures I offer. May I emanate in the Sambhoga Kaya Buddha field. The world of appearance and possibilities, perfectly pure is the youthful vase body, ornamented by unceasing great compassion, the display of Dharmata, the perfect and pure realm of indivisible wisdom bodies. I offer, may I manifest in the pure realm of Dharma Kaya. The earth's surface sprinkled with perfumed water and strewn with flowers, and adorned with Mount Sumeru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon, is visualized as a Buddha field I offer. May all beings enjoy in the pure realm of perfect purity. Tram Guru Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samud Saparana Samaye Ahu Sajin Piju Jujin Medo Drum Rajab Lengshe Neten Kempadi Sange Shingdo Mikte Pu Trogun Namda Shinla Jembarasho Tram Guru Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaye Page 59. By my casting away all attachment to this dearly cherished body, the Deva Putra Mara is destroyed. My consciousness ejects into space through the top of my crown and transforms into turmoil, destroying the Mara, the Lord of Death. My right hand holding a hook knife symbolizing vanquishing the Mara of mental afflictions, slices the top of the corpse's skull, destroying the Mara of the aggregates. My left hand holds a skull cup, the aspect of activity, and places it on the hearth of three human skulls, representing the three kayas. Inside the vessel, the corpse, now an offering filling the 3,000-fold world systems. The blazing R syllable melts the hung nectar, and the offerings are purified, multiplied, and transformed by the power of the three syllables. Om Ma Hum, Om Ma Hum, Om Ma Hum, Om Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Om Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Ma Hum. Om Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Ma Hum. Om 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 Ma Hum. Om Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Ma Hum, Ma Hum. Pray. By my offering to the guests above, the sublime unconditioned wisdom mind of the root and lineage lamas and the idams are fulfilled. Merit and wisdom are accumulated, and supreme and ordinary siddhis are attained. By my offering to the guests of samsara below, they are satisfied and karmic debts are repaid. In particular, the malicious ones and negative forces are satisfied. All illnesses, destructive influences, and obstacles are pacified, dissolving into space. Harmful condition and clinging to self are destroyed into dust. Finally, offering, offerer, and guests dissolved uncontrived into the original nature of Dzogpa Chambo. Llama Nerja Guru Yoga, page 65. Emaho. My own perception is the spontaneously perfect, all-encompassing pure realm, arrayed perfectly as the glorious copper-colored mountain. In its center, I am Vajra Yogini with one face and two hands, brilliantly red and holding a hook knife and skull cup. My 2 feet are in advancing pose, my 3 eyes gazing into the sky. Above the crown of my head, on 100,000 petal lotus, sun and moon seed, inseparable from my own root Lama, the embodiment of all sources of refuge, appears the Nirmana Kaya lake-born Vajra. His body glows with youth, white with a tinge of red. He wears a gown, monastic shawl, cloak, and robe, with one face, two hands, and seated in a majestic posture. In his right hand he holds a vajra, in his left a skull cup containing the vase of immortality, and on his head he wears the 5-petal lotus crown. In the crook of his left elbow, he holds the supreme consort of bliss and emptiness, concealed as a three-pronged khatvanga. He presides amidst the shimmering aura of rays and rings of rainbow light. All around him, enveloped in a beautiful lattice of white, blue, yellow, red, and green light, are the 25 disciples, king and subjects, Panditas and Siddhas of India and Tibet, Rigzins and Yidam deities, Dakinis, Dharmapalas, and protectors, those who keep the Samaya, all gathered like billowing clouds, vividly and distinctly visualized in the great equanimity of clarity and emptiness. Ogen yugen no jan san pema gesan dong po la ya zen chogen wondro ne pema june shensu. Kondo kandro mambe gor kenge jeso dan druche. Jingen lapche sheso sen guru pema sende hong. Hong Jen Yege Nob Jan San Pe Ma Ge San Dong Po Ya Zen Chogen Ondrum Ne Pe Ma Jun Ne She So Da Kordo Kandro Mambe Ki Ge Je So Dan Drup Chen Jenge Lap Che She So Se Guru Pe Ma Sin De Ho Gen Yege Nob Jan San Pe Ma Ge San Dong Po Yazen choge ngodro ne pema jone shenso da kordo kandro mambe kege jesu da drupje jenge lopche shenso se guru pema se de Sasum Yasima. Page 71. Shri Dali Shunge Dun Hendo Number Trumbe Chansen Lo Ngeshan Yudre Tengze Te Nase Chepe Chaja Kozum Megele Nam Gwe Se Chekwe Ngandu Shan Denpai Nike Devai Kweso Kunlai Jeye Rang Rikchen Sumge Duljan Teksum Chekoro Korwa Ko Jese Korwa Madon Bar Nyange Medai Shosun Tezum Sabe Gesa Kun Jansho Chenpo Juro. Back to page 71. Free equal to the number of atoms in the universe, I multiply my body and offer prostrations. Through the power of Samadhi, both real offerings and those mentally emanated, all appearances and possibilities are presented as the gesture offering. All non-virtuous karma of my body, speech, and mind, I confess in the luminous state of Dharmakaya. I rejoice in the accumulation of all virtue contained within the true truths. For the three types of beings to be tamed, I request you to turn the wheel of Dharma of the three yanas. Until samsara is emptied, I pray that you remain without passing into nirvana. All the roots of virtue accumulated in the three times, I dedicate as the cause for attaining supreme Buddhahood. Supplication. O Guru Rinpoche, precious Lama, you are the glorious embodiment of the compassion and blessings of all the Buddhas, the only protector of all sentient beings. My body, wealth, lungs, heart, and chest, I offer to you without hesitation. From now until I attain Buddhahood, in happiness or sorrow, in circumstances good or bad, in situations high or low, great precious Lama, Lotus One, think of me. I have no one else to turn to. The beings of these degenerate times are sinking in the swamp of unbearable suffering. Protect us from all of these, O great Guru. Grant us the four empowerments, O blessed one. Deepen our realization, O compassionate one. Purify the two obscurations, O powerful one. Page 89, go to page 89. When my life is at its end, my perception, the glorious copper-colored mountain, the pure realm of Maya, indivisible from Nirmana Kaya's pure realm, and my body Vajra Yogini is transformed into a radiant, brilliant sphere of light, merging inseparably with Jits and Pema Jone, I attain Buddhahood. Then from the display of vast primordial wisdom, the miraculous manifestation of bliss and emptiness, for every single being in the three realms, let me appear as their supreme guide. Jitsan Pema, grant this so, I pray. I pray to you from the bottom of my heart. These are not just empty words. I pray that you grant your blessings from the expanse of your wisdom mind and cause all my aspirations to be fulfilled. Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Mahum Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Om Hum 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 Benza Guru Om Hum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Om Hum Benza Guru Om Hum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Om Hum Om Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Hum 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 Benza Om Hum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Om Hum Benza Guru Om Hum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Hum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Hum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Hum Benza Om Hum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Hum Benza Guru Pema Om Hum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om. Back to page 77. Page 77. Emaho, from within the pure realm, free from falling into limitations and extremes. The primordial Buddha Dharmakaya Kundo Sangbo. Vajra Sattva, the Sambhoga Kaya manifesting display like the moon in water. And Garab Dorje, perfect with the marks of Nirmana Kaya. To you I pray, please grant blessings and empowerments. Shri Singha, the treasury of ultimate Dharma. Jamboshan and universal monarch of the nine yanas. Janana Sutra, the great Pandita Vimala Mitra. To you I pray, please show this path of liberation. Pema June, sole ornament of the world. The Supreme Wisdom Heart disciples, King Trisong Detsen, Consort Yeshitsogal, and Retinue Vairachana, and others. Venerable Longchen Pa, who revealed the symbols of the notion of wisdom mind treasures. Jigme Lingpa, entrusted with the transmission of the space treasury of the Dakinis. To you I pray, please grant liberation and fruition. Though Druptinle was a Jigme Gyalwen Yugu, Patru Rinpoche, Jamyang Kense Wangpo, not so Rangdur. Kense Choki Lode, Kense Uzer, and the incomparably kind root Llama. To you I pray, please show the original face of my true nature. With renunciation being disgusted with cyclic existence, may I meaningfully depend upon my Vajra Lama as though he were my eyes. Following his instruction to the letter and taking to heart the profound practices he gives, and applying them with constant diligence, not just now and then, may the blessing of his realized wisdom mind be transferred into my own. All appearances and possibilities, samsara and nirvana, are primordially the Akanishta Puram, which is the result of purifying, ripening, and perfecting of deities, mantra, and dharmakaya. This is Dzogpa Chenpo, free of any action and effort of abandoning and adopting. Rigpa's dynamic radiance, which is beyond conceptual analysis and dualistic experience. May I see the actual unclad dharmata. The conceptual characteristics perfectly liberated are the encompassing sphere of rainbows and lights. The experiences of Kaya's and Tigle's supremely blossoming and achieving the full measure of Rigpa's power, the pure realms of Sambhogakaya, and attaining Buddhahood in the great consummate suchness of phenomena beyond concepts. May I accomplish the everlasting dominion of the youthful race body. If I am unable to experience the realization of Ati Yoga, and this physical body is not liberated into the pure expanse, then when the formative constituents of this life fall apart, may the luminosity of death arise as the primordially pure Dharmakaya. May the appearances of the Bardo be liberated into Sambhogakaya, perfecting the power of the path of Trekche and Tegel. May I be liberated like a child returning to its mother's lap. In the great secret luminosity, the summit of the supreme vehicle, Buddha is nowhere sought but in the face of Dharmakaya. If I am not liberated into the manifested primordial ground, then relying on the supreme path of the five teachings on Buddhahood without meditation, may I be born in the five natural pure realms of Nirmanakayas, especially in the palace of lotus-like pure realm, then in the presence of the Lord of Ocean, the supreme sovereign of the ocean of Vidyadharas, in the place where there is the joyous celebration of the teachings of the supreme secret mantra. Let me be born as his supreme heir and be liberated. May I become the guardians of limitless sentient beings. Through the blessings of the ocean of the victorious Rixins, through the inconceivable truth of the Dharma Dhatu, through this freedom and endowed human body, training in purifying, ripening, and perfecting, manifest the interdependence and attain Buddhahood. From the letter Om, radiant like a crystal at the Lama's forehead, rays of light stream forth and enter my forehead, purifying negative actions of the body and obscurations of the channels. The blessing of Vajra body is infused. The vase empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the generation stage. The seed of the completely matured Rigzin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Nirmanakaya is established within my mind. From the letter R, blazing like a ruby at the Lama's throat, rays of light stream forth and enter my throat. purifying negative actions of the speech and obscurations of the inner wind. The blessing of Vajra speech is infused. The secret empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the practice of mantra recitation. The seed of the Rigzin with power over life is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Dhambhogakaya is established within my mind. From the sky-colored letter hung at the Lama's heart, rays of light stream forth and enter my heart, purifying negative actions of the mind and obscurations of the essence. The blessing of Vajra mind is infused, the wisdom empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the Sandali practice of bliss and emptiness. The seed of the Mahamudra reason is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Dharmakaya is established within my mind. Once more from the letter hung at the Lama's heart, a second hung streaks out like a shooting star, merging inseparably with my mind, purifying the karma of all ground and conceptual obscurations. The blessing of Vajra wisdom is infused. The ultimate symbolizing word empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the Dzogpa chamber of original purity. The seed of the spontaneously accomplished Rigzin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Savabhavika Kaya, the final fruition is established within my mind. Okay, now our analytical and then placement meditation. So, first of all, sit in a nice, relaxed posture, nice, comfortable posture. So we're spending about an hour in doing the recitation. It's quite good. So main thing is, we're doing it with feeling, with experience, uh, not just like reciting like a parrot or and there's no juice, there's no essence in that one. It doesn't matter how fast we do or how Pater Rinpoche mentions, likewise Longchen mentions that such kind of teachings, if it doesn't make any effect in your mind, then no matter 100-day retreat, even you spend whole lifetime, doesn't matter. Those kind of teachings will never affect. So main thing is whatever we do, make sure that those each and every word that we recite strikes the vital point. That so think like that. So don't think that Kembo is like a slow reader, it's making us sleepy like that. Don't think like that. I'm all hoping that this will help us all. So that's why we're doing it, and also we're doing it every day, changing the language, not just in Tibetan, so you know what you're reading. And at the same time, the Tibetan is the actual word spoken from Jigme Lingpa, who is inseparable Longchen Pa. Longchen, Banjing, Miling, but they're not separate. And this is our lineage. So to word out his actual speech, his wisdom speech, is tremendous blessings. So don't think that Tibetan is not my language. I don't know what it means. I'd rather chant in English and so forth. English is a very difficult language. English uh, is a language formatted with a lot of concepts. Dharma is a language beyond concept. And in order to express this language of beyond concept, the concept words fall short. So that's why every time I look into this translation, I see so many things that still need to be, I know it's like an ongoing project like that. So anyway, so sit in a nice posture, page 116. Let us not mistake the sequence. So first the bodily posture, sitting nicely in a relaxed posture, so that you have to move the least movement, so it's not shaking too much. In Dzogchen Chamber practitioners, we don't do like this, like we don't wiggle our body like front and back, side to side like that. Try to maintain one position as much as possible, trying to maintain like stillness. And same with the eyes. My eyes move a lot. I don't know why, but I think it's just my busy brain. Busy brain makes my eyes move. So Lama Tajan Rinpoche, who's my teacher, he would say, when your eyes move, it shows that your brain is your brain is busy. So then the teachings say, try to keep your eye, like the lashes or what you call, as still as possible. So don't do like that. Even sometimes there are some chanting people, they kind of get used to when they chant, they kind of go like this and like that. That's not advised in the Dzogchen meditation. So whichever position that you sit, try to sit for a long time. Of course, once in a while you need to adjust your position, like stretch your legs in and out and so forth. That's permissible. And then next is to expel the stale wind. So do that simple one. Breathe in, then feel that it goes down right here, the navel, and then insert that and inside your center channel. Then force out through both your nostril, exiting from here. The air actually enters into your heart center where there is Kuntu Zangpo and Kuntu Zangmo like that, or your Llama. Okay, breathe in, then breathe out. Okay, again. Breathe in. Like that. And then your mind's motivation or intention is on page 16, 116. You'll have to memorize this one. You can just say, for the sake of all motherly sentient beings whose number pervade the vastness of space, in order to free them from suffering and to establish them in the state of perfect and complete precious Buddhahood, then I will engage in this and that practice. That should be so. You can change this one. So right now we're saying, I will train in contemplating the fortunate human birth, like that. So that always changes. So then you can say, I will recite Mani mantra, I'll recite Vajra Guru mantra, or I will light candle, I will light incense, I will do prostrations, I will circumambulate. Those kind of things you can always change. So the intention is the same. So the activities can change. Okay, page 160. I shall meditate on the difficulty of finding the freedoms and advantages so that all sentient beings can be free from suffering and its cause and attain perfect Buddhahood. Then now, to make that happen, then we need to supplicate to the Guru. And then, as I told you, those five understanding, five knowing why you have to supplicate to your Lama. That will be a homework, okay? Yesterday I told you, remember, the Lama as the Buddha, the Lama's activity flawless or excellent, then the Lama's kindness beyond the kindness of all the Buddhas. And then if we supplicate a Lama as the quintessence embodiment of all the Buddhas, and if you supplicate to the Lama, then the innately present wisdom will blossom. So think like that. Okay, we'll skip that Lama. The 109 is the one we actually have to do, but still we are working on that one. So okay, go to page 117. Venerable teachers whose compassion is infinite and unconditional, I prostrate myself before you all. Conquerors of the mind lineage, Vidyadharas of the symbol lineage, most fortunate of ordinary beings who, guided by the enlightened ones, have attained the twofold goal. Teachers of the three lineages, I prostrate myself before you. In the expanse where all phenomena come to exhaustion, you encounter the wisdom of Dharmakaya. In the clear light of empty space, you saw Sambhogakaya Buddha fields appear. To work for beings' benefit, you appear to them in Nirmanakaya form. Omniscient sovereign of Dharma, I prostrate myself before you. In your wisdom, you saw the true nature of whatever can be known. The light of your love beamed benefit upon all beings. You elucidated the teachings of the profound path, summit of all vehicles. Rizin Mei Pa, I prostrate myself before you. You were Lord Avalokiteshvara himself in the form of a spiritual friend. Whoever heard you speak was established on the path to freedom. To fulfill all beings, your activity was infinite. Gracious root teacher, here this is Jigme Gyalwe Nyugu. So we can just say instead of gracious root teacher, because this is Jigme Gyalwe Nyugu. To you I prostrate myself before you. And then now the green bordered insert. Page F, page number F. To the emanation of Vimalamitra, blessed by Manjushri, the 13th incarnation of Prince Lajay, the holder of the seven transmissions, the treasurer revealer Pema Dongakling, to Jamyang Khenze Wangpo I supplicate. To the one whose outer aspect is that of the Bodhisattva Shantideva, whose inner aspect is that of the Lord of Siddha Shavaripa, and whose secret aspect is that of Chenrezi, the noble Lord of self-liberation of suffering. To Jigme Cheki Wangpo Patrarumbache I supplicate. You trained in supreme bodhicitta by caring for others more than yourself. You realized samsara and nirvana as non-dual by perfecting the generation and completion practice. You culminated the wisdom realization of the consummate phenomena of Dharmakaya Tembe Nima, at your feet I supplicate. Vajrasattva, the Lord Protector, embodiment of the victorious ones of the three times, manifesting the magical wisdom dance as Vimala Mitra, inseparable wisdom holder Ngaki Wangpo, this is Longchen. I supplicate you, Kempo Ngakchung, to you I supplicate, grant me the absolute wisdom realization. By the Supreme Lamas as a regent, you are empowered and prophesied to perform impartial benefit for others. A Dzogchen hidden yogi who abandoned everything, Sangye Dorje, at your feet I supplicate. This is Chabja Jadrunbache. Like that. So you supplicate in this way, and then you receive the four empowerments very quickly. And then you merge your mind inseparably with the wisdom mind of the Guru. And then in that wakefulness or in that awareness, then you do the mind training now. Okay, so about 25 minutes. Okay, so you have read that again and again, so you don't need to, read a lot, but just make sure that you know all of those. Because we have been doing this for 16 days on this one. So, okay, now you can read. Been aged. It's not good. Okay. Page 119. 119. Dalwa Tojan Ningbo Cheke Chegoro Jochan Chemen Chebe Ye Dadan Dandra Mombe Semchen Hum Deljo Ningbo Lembara Jinge Lo. Although I've owned these freedoms, I'm poor in dharma, which is their essence. Although I've entered the dharma, I'm distracted doing other things. Bless me and all those foolish beings like me, that we may attain the very essence of the freedoms and advantages. Okay, once again, bring the refuge assembly, the refuge field in our mind. And then recite the refuge prayers. Llama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la jamsu chiwo. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la jamsu chiwo. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la jamsu chiwo. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la jamsu chiwo. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la jamsu chiwo. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la jamsu chiwo. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la jamsu chiwo. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la jamsu chiwo. Lama la jamsu chiwo sangye la jamsu chiwo che la jamsu chiwo gen la. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu chiwo gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Chela jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama la jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen Sang la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu. Sang la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Lama jamsu sangye la jamsu che la jamsu gen la jamsu. Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Nam Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Lam Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung Lam Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Lam Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Jamsa Song Jamsa Chana Jamsung and then Jamsa Long Long John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King. Son John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King, John the Long, John the Son, John the Chun, John the King. Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta 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 Chana Chanta Lam Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long 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 Chanta San Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina 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 Chanta Long Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina 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 Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Lam Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long 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 Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Lam Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long 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 Chanta San Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina 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 Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina 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 Chanta Long Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina 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 Chanta Long Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina 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 Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta 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 Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Lam Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta Long Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina 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 Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta 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 Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Chanta 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 Long Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina 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 Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Long Chanta San Chanta Chana Chanta Gina 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 Chanta Long Chanta Long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the Lam just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song just the challenge of the inner just the lam just the song long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the inner just the long just the song just the challenge of the Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Lam Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Lam Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Lam Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Lam Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Lam Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Lam Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Joseph Channel Joseph in the Joseph Long Joseph Son Long just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just long just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge of the inner just along just as on just a challenge Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just Long just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge of taking the just along just as on just a challenge Long Jazza Zong Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Jazza in the Jazza Long Jazza San Jazza Chana Chana chanta kina chanta lam chanta san chanta 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 chana chanta lam chanta san chanta chana chanta kina 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 chanta lam chanta san Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa Lam Jasa San 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 Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa Lam Jasa San 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 Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Long Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa Lam 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 Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Chana Jasa Gina Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa 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 Chana Jasa Gina Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gina Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chana Chanta Gina Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata 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 Chana Chanta Gina Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Chana Chanta Gina Jata Lam Jata Sang Jata 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 Chana Chanta Gina Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Chanta Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Sang Jata Chana Long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel Lam just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the Long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just Long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the Long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner Channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just Long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the Long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the Long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just Long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long Long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the Lama just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel Lam just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the inner just the long just the song just the channel just the Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona. Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona. Long Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson. Chana Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chana Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson. Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson. Chana Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Long Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson. Long Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Long Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson. Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson. Long Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson. Long Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lam Johnson. Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Long Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Johnson, and then Johnson, Lama Johnson, Son Johnson, Chona Chana Jatagina Jatalam Jata San Jata 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 Chana Jatagina Lam Jata San Jata Chana Jatagina Jatalam 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 Nam Jata San Jata Chana Jatagina Jatalam 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chana Jatagina Jatalam 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 Jata San Jata Chana Lam Jata San Jata Chana Jatagina Jatalam 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 Jata San Jata Chana Jatagina Chana Jatagina Jatalam Jata San Jata 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chana Jatagina Jatalam 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 Jata San Lam Jata San Jata Chana Jatagina Jatalam 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 Jata San Jata Chana Chana Jatagina Jatalam Jata San Jata 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 Chana Jatagina Jatalam Lam Jata San Jata Chana Jatagina Jatalam 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 Jata San Jata Chana Chana Jatagina Jatalam Jata San Jata 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 Chana Jatagina Jatalam Llama Chansu Chu Sangela Chansu Chu Chana Chansu Chu Gendela Chansu Chu Lama La Chansu Chu Sangela Chansu Chu Chana Chansu Chu Gendela Chansu Chu Lama La Chansu Chu Sangela Chansu Chu Chana Chansu Chu Gendela Chansu Chu Jo sum yen de je za wa zum za long de le ran jen jang che se ngo ran jen to je ke chang che ne bo ban do jam so je gen jo sum yen de je za wa zum za long de le ran jen jang so se ngo ran jen to je chang che ne bo ban do jam so je gen jo sum yen de je za wa zum za long de le ran jen jang che Mo rang jin tu je gen go la jang chu ning bo ban do chan su chi. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas in bodhicitta, the nature of channel wind and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas in bodhicitta, the nature of channel wind and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. Gewan diye nirdon dai genjo sumbo drujur ne drowa chekya malupa diye sala ge parasho. Through the merit of this practice, may I swiftly accomplish the three jewels and establish every sentient being without exception on their level. Page 92. From the heart center of the Llama, a beam of light, red and warm, suddenly appears and myself visualized as the original Llama. It touches my heart and I'm instantaneously transformed into a sphere of red light, which dissolves into Guru Rinpoche's heart, and I become inseparable with him in one day. Glorious, precious root Lama, dwelling on the lotus seat in my heart, care for me with your compassionate great kindness. Grant me the accomplishments of your body, speech, and mind. Toward the life and liberation of the glorious Lama, may wrong view not arise, not even for an instant. And through the devotion, seeing whatever he does as excellent, may the blessings of the Lama infuse my mind. In all of my lifetimes, may I never be separated from the perfect Lama, and experiencing the splendor of Dharma, may I perfect the qualities of paths and bhumis, and swiftly attain the level of Vajradhara. And then, once again, reflect back on your session and see how your session went, and then any mistake, um, confess, and then make a commitment that in your next session you will try to do better and not waste that session. And then if you had good experience in your session, be joyful, rejoice, and then and not be too arrogant about it, and just feel proud about it, and then any merit that we have accumulated by practicing in the mind training, we dedicate for the attainment of Buddhahood for all sentient beings. Page 94. Just as the heroic Manjushri realized and Samanta Bhadra too, I will train in their examples and perfectly dedicate all of these virtues. All of the conquerors of the three times, in whichever way they supremely dedicate, I too will perfectly dedicate all my roots of virtue for their excellent conduct. In all my lifetimes, wherever I am born, may I obtain the seven qualities of higher realms. Upon taking birth, may I immediately meet the Dharma and have the freedom to practice it perfectly. In that life, may I please the sublime Lama and practice the Dharma day and night. Having realized the Dharma, may I accomplish the ultimate meaning of the essence, and may I cross over the ocean of worldly existence in this very life. May I thoroughly teach the sublime Dharma within the world, and never become disheartened or weary of accomplishing the benefit of others. Through working impartially for the vast benefit of others, may all beings attain Buddhahood together. Om Benza Guru Bemar Siddhi. 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 Om. Allah everybody. So auspicious 26th day of our accomplishment. Today we did 1200. We couldn't do a lot, but we did 1200 today.
Kimpula, I have a question.
Mhm.
Um, the the fivefold you were talking about, the fivefold something yesterday about like the Llama, how to. I couldn't find it in the books. Is it somewhere in the book or?
Yes, it's in the guide to the words of my perfect teacher. So if you essentialize, as I told you, first is to understand the Llama, or understand or know that the Llama is the Buddha. So that's the first one. And secondly, whatever the Llama does as dharma. So not generating wrong view toward the Lama. So whatever the Lama does, and as a training to purify your mind, you should always see that everything is seen through pure perception, that everything the Lama does is Dharma, meaning excellent. And then in regard to the kindness, then the Lama's kindness surpasses all the Buddhas. So that's the third one. The fourth one is that Lama is the quintessential embodiment of all the Buddhas. So when you're supplicating to the Lama, there is no deities or lamas or yidams or dakinis that you're not supplicating. And, all the mandalas, all the lamas, yidams, and dakinis subsume within the Lama. So you should understand or know that Lama is the quintessential embodiment of all the Buddhas of the past, present, and future, like that. And lastly, then you have to understand or know that if you supplicate wholeheartedly, sincerely, from the bottom of your heart to the Lama, then the realization of wisdom will dawn within one's mind stream. So that is how we say, knowing those 4 to 5 aspects of the Lama. Here, page 259 in this guide to word of my perfect teacher. So there it says, knowing that the teacher is the Buddha, that's one. And then there is all this explanation. And then page 261b, knowing that everything the teacher does is the activity of a Buddha. And then there is explanation like that. And then page 262, knowing that for us the teacher is even kinder than the Buddhas. And then the explanation. And then D, page 263, knowing that the teacher embodies the wisdom of the infinite refuges. And again, the explanation in 264, knowing that if you pray to him with all this in mind, the wisdom of realization will take birth in your mind. So those are the ones.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else?
I have a question. There are people in my family who are not spiritual in any way, and they're going to die soon. What should we do with people like this in our families? If we're the only one in our family, maybe who has some connection to a dharma with some idea about death.
Mm-hmm. You can, are they like, when you're saying dying, like they have like terminal illness, or are they in deathbed, or are they in the hospital? The kind, with whatever the case be, then that now that you know that they're in the final part of their lives, then you should be kind to them. Whatever they do, you should accept, and don't argue, don't cause more anger or irritation in their minds. Just be loving, just be a good bodhisattva, just be a good practitioner, and then just let them see the reflection of Dharma in you, that you are a calm, peaceful, subdued person. And then, even if they're harsh toward you, that you never show any kind of negativity toward them. You never reflect them with any kind of anger or negativity, but rather always being kind, loving, gentle, patient, like that. And then they will come to reflect that, wow, why is this person, even when I treat him or her badly, that person can always remain kind and loving. And they will know that, oh, it's because there is something that he or she believes, or he or she does. That's the spiritual practice. And then they will kind of understand, oh, it seems that spiritual practice works. Even if I don't believe, I can see that it's working for him or her, like that. So that's the way how you need to think, and then always be loving and make them happy, calm them, and then whatever they do, tell them not to worry, not to be attached to life, and not to be too much attached toward their loved ones and so forth, or their possession and so forth. To let go of all of those. So that's all that you can help. And if that's the way how you would do to other people, and it's because you're saying they don't have any kind of spiritual belief like that, you do that. You don't argue, don't cause them more irritation or anger or any kind of disturbance in their mind. Rather, if they don't accept, then just ignore, and then just stay away. You don't have to express that. If it doesn't help you stay calm, then it's better to kind of disassociate yourself, or stay distance from them. And that doesn't help your practice, nor does it help them. So you do that. And if they are Buddhist or if they believe in spiritual practice, then you should encourage them in the like in the spiritual path. Whatever they have, whatever they're attached to, then they can let go and talk to them about, you have been nice, you have been kind, and so forth. Recently, one of our friends' dog, a long time, very old dog, passed away. And then I was doing prayers for the dog, and then I thought, like I wanted to speak to the dog. When I was chanting the mantra, the dog recognized that it was me chanting. So she was dying, but I think when she heard me chanting, she had this awareness. So like that. Then in my mind, I was talking to her, saying that you had been a very good dog and you did your part in this life. And then now that you are transitioning to another life, and then you should prepare yourself to go to Buddha Amitabha's pure realm, like those. So such kind of things you can talk to them, and then you can say you have lived a good life, and then just prepare yourself that don't be attached to this life and transition yourself in a way that you can connect to better light, better birth, better rebirth, and so forth. So those are the ways to do. So we don't argue with our parents or families who are not cooperative. That's not the Buddha path.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Okay. Okay, so everybody, take care, stay well, and then I will see you soon. Then submit your homework, submit your whatever you did, the numbers accumulation, you need to email to Lindsay. And then I'll check how much you have accumulated. And then after tomorrow, day after, so tomorrow is Saturday, Sunday. So after Monday, we will make this YouTube channel unlisted, meaning only those who have written to Lindsay or me regarding the permission to do this practice. To them, we'll be sending out the link. And then hereafter, then it will be more just for us who are doing the mind training. So then we can talk more about the lineage practice, and then how to choose the day, what to do, further elaboration of our practice. Okay, so yes, what was your question, Kira?
My question is, you said email you or Lindsay. What email address? Which one?
lundupcholing@gmail.com.
Oh, the one.
Yeah,
that you send
lundupcholing@gmail.com,
notices
or
from.
yeah, lclinquire@gmail.com.
LCL.
Inquire.
Okay.
And,
And my other question is, I didn't know you wanted us to give accumulations of the refuge or the mantra.
Refuge, Llama Lachaksucho. We are right now on to almost 30,000. Tomorrow will be will be 30,000. Tomorrow will be, I think, somewhere. If not tomorrow, then day after we'll be reaching 30,000, and then we are on a different phase of our practice.
Well, I have a confession because I know you're counting. I don't count because when I count, it makes me go slower. So I just try to keep up with you.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So yeah,
But-
so if as long as you did together, then that's fine. So you can count like that. So that's okay. So anyway, you can email to Lindsay so that we know, we'll keep track of each student's accumulation. So just send to Lindsay.
Okay, thank you. And then you're doing soak tomorrow morning?
Mm.
Or this morning?
Sunday morning.
Sunday.
morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sunday. Okay. Stay well, everybody. Take good care. Okay. Eat well.
Also, Kempo, you said today.
Don't get too chubby. Like me, I've become already big.
I have the opposite problem. I lost 15 pounds.
I don't grow tall anymore. I'm going on the sides, front and back and left and right, like that. Okay, everybody stay well. Okay.
Kempo, you said this is a day of accomplishment in the Tibetan calendar.
Day of accomplishment.
You had mentioned that just before we ended. You said this is a day of accomplishment.
Oh yeah, because we are accomplishing every day is an accomplishment. We achieved. Today is the 26th day of our retreat. So I want to congratulate you every day.
So that's not related to the Tibetan calendar, the Tibetan astrology. Thank you.
Beyond Tibetan calendar. It's the Dharma calendar. The Dharma calendar wins over Tibetan calendar.
Of course.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Touch the leg. Good morning. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.